Have you ever asked a woman a question and felt like her answer was technically correct, yet somehow incomplete? Maybe the words sounded convincing, but something about the conversation left you wondering if there was more beneath the surface. As a woman, I can tell you that this happens more often than most men realize. Not because women are trying to deceive anyone, but because certain questions touch emotions, fears, and vulnerabilities that are difficult to explain honestly. If you enjoy learning about relationships and female psychology, take a moment to subscribe and like this video. The first question might completely change the way you see past conversations. One question many women struggle to answer honestly is, what do you really think of me? On the surface, this sounds simple. But as a woman, I can tell you that many women hesitate because the truth is rarely one clear sentence. Attraction, respect, emotional connection, and long-term potential often exist separately in our minds. A woman may genuinely admire parts of a man while still feeling uncertain about other areas. Men often assume a mixed answer means rejection, but sometimes it simply means her feelings are still developing. That uncertainty leads directly into another question that reveals even more about female psychology. Another difficult question is, what is your biggest insecurity? As a woman, I can tell you that many women spend years learning how to hide the things that make them feel vulnerable. Some insecurities involve appearance, while others involve fear of abandonment, failure, or not feeling good enough. The reason many women avoid complete honesty is because revealing a deep insecurity can feel like handing someone the power to hurt you. Men often see vulnerability as trust, but women sometimes see vulnerability as risk. Understanding that difference can help explain why the next question is even harder to answer. A question that creates surprising emotional tension is, do you still seek validation from other people? Most women would like to believe the answer is no. Yet as a woman, I can tell you that nearly everyone enjoys feeling appreciated, noticed, and valued. The challenge is that many women fear this question will be misunderstood. Seeking occasional reassurance is not the same as needing constant attention. Men often assume validation means disloyalty, when in reality it often reflects basic human needs. The real issue is not whether validation feels good, but whether someone depends on it for self-worth. That distinction becomes even more important when we move to the next question. Perhaps one of the most revealing questions is, what are you afraid to tell your partner? As a woman, I can tell you that the answer is rarely about a secret affair or a dramatic betrayal. More often, it involves small truths that feel difficult to discuss. Maybe it is disappointment, frustration, unmet expectations, or fears about the future. Many women stay silent because they worry about creating conflict or hurting someone they care about. Men often believe honesty should always be immediate, but emotions do not always arrive neatly organized. Sometimes people need time to understand their own feelings before sharing them, which leads us to the most emotionally powerful question of all. The question many women find hardest to answer honestly is, what do you need most from a relationship? As a woman, I can tell you that this sounds straightforward, but it often forces us to confront needs we rarely express out loud. Some women need emotional safety. Others need appreciation, consistency, affection, or deeper communication. The reason many women struggle to answer honestly is because needs create expectations. Once a need is spoken, there is always a chance it will be ignored, dismissed, or misunderstood. That fear causes many women to stay quiet, even when the relationship could improve through open communication. What most men misunderstand about these questions is that hesitation does not automatically mean dishonesty. As a woman, I can tell you that people often protect themselves when they feel exposed. Human beings naturally filter information through emotions, past experiences, and fears. Sometimes a woman avoids a complete answer because she fears judgment. Sometimes she fears conflict. Other times, she simply lacks the words to explain what she truly feels. The deeper lesson is that understanding someone requires more than listening to a single answer. It requires patience, observation, and emotional awareness over time. When you think about all 5 questions together, a pattern begins to emerge. Each one touches vulnerability in a different way. Whether it involves attraction, insecurity, validation, communication, or emotional needs, the common thread is fear. Not fear of the relationship itself, but fear of being misunderstood. As a woman, I can tell you that many people would rather offer a safer answer than risk being judged for an honest one. That does not make them bad partners. It makes them human. The key is creating an environment where honesty feels safer than self-protection. Before we finish, I want to ask you something. What is one question you've always wanted an honest answer to from a woman? Share your thoughts in the comments below because these conversations often reveal perspectives that many people never hear. Your experiences, observations, and questions might help someone else understand relationships in a completely new way. And if this video has given you a fresh perspective so far, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions about relationships and human behavior. As we come to the end of this conversation, remember that the strongest relationships are not built on perfect answers. They are built on trust, emotional intelligence, and the willingness to understand each other beyond surface-level conversations. As a woman, I can tell you that honesty grows where people feel safe, respected, and heard. The goal should never be to force answers out of someone. The goal should be to create enough trust that honesty becomes natural. When you focus on understanding human nature instead of chasing certainty, relationships become less about fear and more about genuine connection.